Hello, my friends. Jen here with Jen's Den Art, and today is our new technique Wednesday. And hello, Miss Star, how are you? And we are working on a painting that I've been working on for about a month now. And I'm going to have to put my glasses on because I'm far away from the screen. So in order for me to see, well, no, I don't need my glasses. I can see just as well without them. Hello, Miss Margaret. How are you? Michael's at work today, so I'll tell him you said hi. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Miss Doris and Miss Connie. Y'all come on in. Come on in and have a seat. So I have been working on this painting here for about a month. And hey, Miss Lynn and Miss Leona. And hey, Joan, I have so many layers on this painting that I'm really worried about just trashing the whole thing, because but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you my dilemma. Okay. So thank you, Miss Pat. Hello, Miss Diana. So I want to show you what I've done so far. And I've probably sat down 4 different times working on this painting. The colors are my problem. Hello, Teresa. So I want you to see what I have going on here. Okay, look at all of the paint. Like, I spent so much money on paint just on this painting because I have so much paint on it that's why I'm like, I just need to stop working on it, because the paint itself, look at all the texture. Can you see that? Okay, it's super, super thick. I have started and stopped 4 times. And today is number 5. And hopefully it's the last one. Okay. I even put gold leaf on it. And I really like it, but it is not working for me. Okay. It is not working for me. Hey, Jackie and Teresa and Laura. Thank you, Laura. It is not working. So this is what I am trying to do. Now, what's not working for me? It's the colors are not, they're not meshing well. So I've put it in a spot for the last month where every time I walk down here to my studio, I can look at it. And every time I look at it, first of all, the lime green, it's not working for me. Every time I look at it, I get a yuck feeling. And when you look at a painting, you shouldn't get a yuck feeling. Okay? So I need to tone it down. I need to get, and this is just for me, okay, for my preference, to feel like this is something that I would want to put out there. It needs some work. So this is what I started doing. I started taking some of the paints and I started making me like some little color swatches. So my first color swatch is Teal and Black. You see it? And I'm going to show you how I made this in a minute. So I'm looking at this color, and that's a really, really, as you can tell, look at my wall back there. It's one of my favorite colors. This is a combination of teal and black. So when I put it up here, especially on the sides or the background or whatever you want to call that blue back here, it really, really pops. So this is something that I've never done before. So that's why I'm considering this a new technique, because I'm taking this painting and I'm getting ready to really make some changes to it in its colors. Okay. Another color that I'm not real happy about is they're too bright for me. Okay. The lime green is just not working. So this is what I did here. I put on just a little piece of card. I put some green and some black. And the green is called Permanent Green Light. Okay. Hello, Elizabeth and Cindy and Pam. All right. So I'm going to mix these up. I'm going to mix them up on this swatch. And I'm going to look at the color. Okay, you probably want to do this on a surface where you can like spread the color out and cover your swatch. Okay, so look at this. Now, that color, I'm looking at it. It's still too green. I don't like it. It's still too green. I want something that's a little bit more like a darker muted color. So I'm going to add a little bit more black. And right now I'm playing around, so I'm just using, you know, like some Artist Loft. Because, y'all, I have so much paint on this painting that I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to charge a lot of money for this paint. Okay, so I'm just trying just a little bit more. That's almost too dark. Okay, so one thing you should get out of it, I don't know, it might work. It might work. So one thing you should get out of this, what I'm doing so far is I'm teaching you, instead of just plopping the paint on your painting and just hoping it works, which is basically what I've been doing for the last month, I'm going to focus on trying to find the right colors that I want. Okay? I don't like the gold. The gold is too orangey or too bright. I like the white roses, but I'm going to have to redo a couple of them. I like the red vase, but I do not like all of the busyness on the outside of the roses. So this is what I'm going to do. I really like this color. Okay, I really like this color, which is a teal. And let me grab this, my palette. It's called teal. Okay, I'm going to take that teal. And then I'm going to take some black. Let me move this over here. And I'm going to mix those two together. And, oh, this is not my black that's open. And I'm going to show you, or we're going to discover this together. Let me get a palette knife to mix. We're going to make us a new background. So if you ever get in a bind, like I am right now, this painting is driving me crazy. Okay, so I have teal and black. Y'all see it? I'm mixing it up. It's kind of like giving it like a grayish teal color. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this color. And I'm not going to use a palette knife this time. I'm going to use a large paintbrush. I'm going to start with this color. And I'm going to grab a bunch of it, put it on my paintbrush. And I'm going to hold my paintbrush like this. And the greatest part about acrylics is you can cover up your paint very easily. I'm not going to cover it all up, but I am going to cover up a lot of it in this background. Did that just like freak y'all out when I put that paint over it? Hey, I want to paint some gray and white tone paintings for my bedroom. Look, I love gray and white tone paintings. They are my favorite. Any kind of like that jewel tone. I love that jewel tone. Okay, so I have a ton of texture under here. And I'm taking a paintbrush because I'm covering up all of those bumps. There's a ton of bumps in this painting from all the texture. So I'm covering up most of it. Let's go right here. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I feel like because there's so many bumps in this painting, you know, the texture, I'm going to come back with a palette knife and see what that'll do. All right. Right here. I don't like the way this looks. And right in here. All right. That's a little bit better. That is a little bit better. Okay, so that's going to be my step one. I'm basically redoing the background. The original painting, I started with a background and then it got super crazy on me. And I just didn't like it anymore. So that's my background now. For now, I would have to start it over too. I would paint over it, then begin again. I like a lot of the pieces of it. So painting over it, in my opinion, is not an option. And the reason why is because there's so much texture and there's already so much form of where the flowers are that it would be really too difficult for me to just paint all over it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's going to be my start. I'm going to clean my paintbrush off. And I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Now, I did use some open golden. So that means that it's going to take a little bit longer for that layer to dry. Because that open golden is like that. It's almost like it's called a slow drying acrylic. But to me, it's almost like an oil. It's kind of sticky. Okay. Now, two things that I want to do. One is I want to redo the flowers just a little bit with See, this is not clean. One is I want to redo the flowers with white and probably, let me see if I can find my yellow that I want. My yellow that I want is, I have an Indian yellow that I want to find. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. I don't see it anywhere. Here it is. Indian yellow hue. Okay. Another golden open. But this is what I'm going to do because I'm not sure which yellow I want. So I'm going to take, I had some green on the end of that. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm going to take a swatch. And the other yellow that I'm interested in is yellow ochre. And so I'm going to compare the two on a little swatch. Now my yellow ochre, I can tell, is a little bit more transparent. And that's kind of the color. That's kind of more the color I want. Look at the Indian yellow. Now I put some green in it, so you can't really see. This is not a good swatch. The Indian yellow has got some okay, so let's look at the difference. And you tell me what you like. Okay, y'all see they're very similar, but they're also very different. So here's the gold. That's yellow ochre. See it? It's really pretty. All right, and then here's the Indian yellow. Okay. Which one is more pleasing to the eye? Which one is more pleasing to the eye? Yep, all of y'all are saying the same exact thing I would. This one is much more pleasing. You can tell when you put it, it's softer, it's easier on your eyes, and it gives you a much warmer feeling. Okay, this one is just way too bright. It almost gives you a headache when you see it against there. So what I'm learning is instead of just picking up a color and saying, let me slap it on here, take you some little swatches. Look, these are just little index cards I had. Take you some little swatches and stick it next to your painting and see what you like. So I'm going to grab some yellow ochre. And my main focus for this one is that I want to get rid of this bright orange in here. You'll see that? So I'm not going to use the yellow ochre for all of it, but I'm going to use it for some of it. Because that bright orange is just not playing with me well. Okay. And that bright green is not playing with me well either. We're going to get there in a minute. Okay, you see this flower? She needs help. She's hiding behind here, and I want to pull her out. Now, in order for me to cover, I have to use a paintbrush because of all the texture. The palette knife is just going to glide on top of all of these humps. I'm going to have to let this dry. That's a much prettier color. All right. Cleaning my paintbrush off. Now I'm going to grab the white. Let me grab some white. And I'm going to come back with the same yellow ochre, but I'm going to mix some white in it, and I'm going to make it really, really light. Look at these two colors on the palette, how pretty together. The gold and the blue. Isn't it pretty? I love it. Okay. Very, very little. Look, I just put a teeny tiny bit of yellow ochre in my white. And I'm going to mix that together. Now, don't do that to me. I've got blue on my palette knife. Okay, so I'm making a really creamy color. And now that I've got a lot of layers, I'm going to need that palette knife now, because if I try to put that paintbrush in there, it's just going to mix together. It's going to mix with the other color down there, and I don't want that to happen. It's going to make mud. So I'm going to have to make some more. I didn't make enough. And I'm going to add that just in a few areas. See what I'm saying? I'm using up so much paint doing this painting. It is like, whew. I'm going to have to put a big price on this one, y'all. Okay, making that same color again. Just a little bit more. So I did not change to a different color. I just added white to the same color. Oops, just dropped some on the floor. So I put a darker color underneath, and now I'm coming back with some lighter colors on top. Darker color was put with the paintbrush. Lighter colors going on now with the palette knife. Trying to get rid of a lot of that orangey tone in there. I don't like the orange, the bright colors. So need a bit more. These are just like some little buds I'm trying to make. Okay, now I'm just going to do white by itself. That's too much. Let's see, this one needs a little bit. And that one needs a little bit. All right. I gotta get rid of that green, y'all. I don't like the green. So what do y'all think? The transformation is amazing. The green won't be too much once you get your dark teal. Okay, the color combo is very calm. Yes, agree. Biggest mess if I try this. You see how much you can't see all the mess I have around here. I'm only showing you the calm area right now. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix me some greens. And let me go ahead and make sure I put enough on my palette here so I don't have to keep on mixing over and over. Palette knife. I'm going to grab some black and some green. And this one's empty. This is fun for me. This is the best part. This is what I love doing the most, is just playing around like this and just having a blast. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of brown on the side. This is a burnt umber, just because I might want to mix it in there with the green instead of the black. But I'm afraid that the green and the brown is going to make a really ugly color, which it probably will. So that's why I'm going to go with green and black. Okay, so let's see. Now this green is super bright, and I put way too much black already, but we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Y'all can see that? I like that dark color. And you can still kind of see that bright green through it. There's a little something in it I'm trying to get out. All right. It's not probably enough, but okay. I'm not going to use this paintbrush. I mean, this palette knife. And look, this is what these things are really good for. Just wipe your brush off on, on your shirt. I do that a lot. Okay. Let me try this one. I'm going to try one that has a little bit of a rounded edge. And I really want that green to be covered up. Okay. Step 2, let's try the paintbrush first. I'm just afraid I start mixing too much. So I'm going to have to be super, super careful. All right, this is where it's going to get tricky because it's still wet. This, I'm going to have to come over just a little like that. Much better color, right? Much better color. Okay, I'm not going to overdo it. This one needs a stem. This one needs a stem. This one needs a stem. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop with the green. And now I'm going to go to this red. Let's talk about this red. The red is also super bright for me. And I think what I want is, I want that, that like maroon red, okay? So you can see where I'm going with this now. I'm getting rid of all of, now that red looks pretty awesome when you look at it. If you look at it, it looks like, wow, it is popping. Look at that. Now that red just like stands out. I don't know. I might not change the red because the more I look at it, the more I'm liking the way the red's going. I need to put a center on this flower, so I'm going to use some of that red. Let me see what red I used. I think I used this, alizarin crimson hue. Alizarin crimson hue. It's a really, it's like a cherry red, like an original cherry red. You know what I'm saying? Let me grab a little bit of that. Stick right here. Now that's super dark red. I like it though. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of that here. It's a beautiful maroon color. Don't y'all think that red just makes it? It just pops. Now I'm trying to make this look more like a boxy vase. Trying to make it look like it goes straight up and down on the sides, because I have so much, I have so many curvy things that I want something that's straight in it. I want something that plays with those lines. So I don't want to do a curvy vase as well. So then I have a curvy vase, I have a big fat vase, and I have some big fat flowers, and I have some big fat leaves. I just think it's better to add that straight edge on the sides here, so that your eyes can rest from the curviness. Does that make sense? Okay. I have a little bit more of this on my palette, so I'm gonna stick it on here like some little, just a few little spots right there. It's not really doing anything. Okay, I'm getting there. It's not there yet, but it is a lot better than it was earlier today, don't you think? I like it a lot better. So, yes, it does. Looks great with the background. I like the red. Missed the beginning. We'll watch your replay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's maybe a 24 by 24. I think. Let me see. Or a 20 by 20. I'm not sure. Yeah, 24 by 24. Yeah, 24 by 24. So, it still needs some work. The main thing it needs is it needs a little bit more of that white and that gold. Just like right here. Okay, right there I need a little bit. But I'm also going to do this. I know y'all are going to be like, but I can't help it. I need to do it. Remember I said I liked this color? Okay, I'm coming back with that color now. So I'm going to take my palette that I had my teal on. I'm going to put some more teal, and I'm going to put some more black. And this time I'm going to make it darker. I want almost like a navy blue. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to mix. I did not go quite as dark as I wanted to the first time. So I'm going to come back and go darker. Just add a little bit more black. Now it's making a really pretty dark gray color. I'm mixing until I make a whole new color. I don't want any streaks in it. I want to mix it completely so that there's no lighter colors. It's just all dark. I'm going to try the palette knife and see if I like it. And if I don't like the palette knife, I'm going to go to the paintbrush. I need it a little bit darker because I want it to pop just a little bit more. Can you see what I just did? It's there, but it's not there strong enough. Okay, that's more what I want, I think. Let's see. Let's go back. A little bit more. Almost to a gray. You can hardly see it, but it's there. I'm coming back with it over the green a little bit too. Okay, I'm not going to do any more of that, but I am going to come back with some white. And I had that green on my palette. I'm kind of mixing it all together. It's a pretty grayish kind of tone. And just come in with a little bit of highlights. Okay, much better. Much better, much better. I'm out of paint on here, so when I'm out of paint, I usually end up stopping what I'm doing. Because I don't want to have to mix anymore. Okay, a couple of other things that I'm going to work on, but I have to let it dry, is I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think over it a little bit, and I may come back with just a little bit more, like maybe maybe one more layer of white. But for the most part, I like it. I like it a lot better than what it was. Okay, so if you go back and you look at, well, I'm actually going to do a before and after. So the whole concept, the more I look at it, the more I like the bright red in the flowers and at the bottom. When it dries, I am going to go back with a little bit of that. You can still see some of the gold leaf, but I kind of hid some of the gold leaf with my next layer. And that, my friends, is close to a wrap. And I feel so much better about this painting since I calmed down the background with that really pretty blue. And I came back with, I didn't go all the way to this color. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have gone darker to this color. Maybe I should have gone darker. Now I'm starting to think about it some more. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep the lighter blue or not. But yeah, good. Nice touch. Yes, love the highlights. I really like this. Good. So my focus today was just to show you how you can transform a painting into something else. And I actually like it better than I have over the last 5 times that I've been playing with this. So I think I might call this one and sell it. I don't know. What do y'all think? The only thing I'm not sure about this, but I think it adds a nice touch to it. So yeah, I also wanted to remind you tonight at 6:30. Is it 6:30? No, it's 7:30 Central, correct? 7:30? Wait, what's today? The 1st of September. Happy September, y'all. So we have a 30-day free basic acrylic painting. I call it Jen's Den Acrylic 101. So we're not gonna be doing stuff like this. This is much more advanced. We're going to be going back to the basics. We're going to be going back to everything like the first time you walk into a store, what do you need to become an acrylic painter? Maybe you just want to do it for a hobby. Maybe you want to start painting to gift items. Maybe you want to start painting because you want to start selling your paintings. Whatever it is, I'm going to take you back to where I started in 2016. And I'm going to walk you through everything that I've learned over the last 6 years that I've been painting. In the descriptions at the top, there is a link to the Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group to get in. It is called Jen's Den Art Acrylic 101, if you wanted to look it up. Jen's Den Art Acrylic 101. I'm going live in there every single day. I think I'm looking at the wrong spot. I'm supposed to be looking right here, right? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be looking right here. I'm going live every day for the whole month of September. So come on in and join us, and we are going to break down this process into specific brushes, gesso, when to use it, when not to use it, painting surfaces, palette knives, paints, whatever you want to know from the beginning. Okay, guys, so come join us tonight at 7:30 Central and for day 1 of our Acrylic 101. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for being here. Bye. See you next time. Let me get my dealamajiggy to turn you off.